Would you engage in a love where you could not touch, not even make contact? They loved each other throughout their entire youth, yet never once held hands. A decade of companionship was exchanged for a mere 10-second embrace. The story begins with the heart-wrenching cries of an infant, piercing the forest's silence. Attracted by the sound, the forest spirits gathered around this abandoned little life, somewhat at a loss. One of them took out a fox mask and gently placed it before the infant. Miraculously, the baby stopped crying. This scene moved the mountain deity, who, out of compassion, gave him a name and cast a spell so he could live on. However, the price for this extended life was that he could not touch humans, or he would vanish. Time flowed slowly through the forest. Raised by the spirits, he grew up safely. He thought this life would continue forever, until one day, a lost little girl appeared in the forest. Her cries broke the forest's tranquility, attracting a masked boy. Overjoyed to finally see another person, the girl spread her arms and rushed toward him. But the boy dodged, leaving the girl confused as she stumbled forward. Xing told the girl that he was a spirit of the forest and that if touched by a human, he would dissipate like snow. But the girl didn't believe him, thinking he was trying to scare her, and rushed toward him again. Left with no choice, Xing picked up a stick and tapped her with it. The girl finally believed he wasn't human after all. Who would hit a child with a stick? He then handed the stick to her, asking her to hold the other end so he could lead her out. And so, Xing guided the girl out of the forest, the distance between them held by a stick, a distance that would later become an unbridgeable chasm. Soon, they reached the edge of the forest. After pointing her toward the path, the girl wanted to thank him and asked for his name. The boy avoided answering directly, telling her instead that the forest was home to mountain deities and spirits. As she looked into his eyes, she slowly began to believe he might truly be a spirit. But she was determined to befriend him nonetheless. As she left, the boy finally revealed his name, Xing. On her way back, she happened to meet her grandfather, who had come searching for her. Yu curiously asked her grandfather if there were really spirits in the forest. Her grandfather said that, as a child, he had heard elders in the village speak of forest spirits who held festivals, but he had never seen one himself. That night, Yu tossed and turned, her mind filled with the day's experiences in the forest. The next day, she returned to the spot where they had parted, only to find Xing already waiting there. And Yu's habit of rushing toward him remained unchanged. Xing, as always, reacted simply and directly, then leaped gracefully down the steps. The summer heat was sweltering, so Xing decided to take Yu into the forest to cool off. They ate ice pops together, crossed wooden bridges, and ventured deep into the forest. At one point, Yu felt as if eyes were watching her. A dark-faced spirit appeared before her, sternly warning her not to touch Xing or he would eat her. Xing shielded Yu, telling her not to be afraid. The spirits in the forest had the ability to shapeshift and enjoyed scaring children, but they were kind by nature and never harmed humans. Unexpectedly, Yu wasn't frightened. Instead, she was delighted to have met a spirit. Along the way, more spirits emerged, reminding Xing to keep his distance from humans. A single careless touch could make him vanish, but Xing reassured them not to worry. Seeing his determination, the spirits ceased their warnings. In the days that followed, Yu often visited the forest to play with Xing. They strolled together, played under large trees, and stood by babbling streams, watching small boats drift slowly with the current. Through their companionship, Xing began to feel what it meant to be human. Yet, the bittersweet pang of their untouchable bond lingered, a love confined to shared moments and unspoken understanding, forever bound by the space between them.